Okay. This is Colette Claire with the Gauntlet, and we are here with Five Finger Death Punch in the hallway of the House of Blues Hollywood. Our interesting location. We're portable here at the Gauntlet. And so, man, you guys have been on tour. You toured with Korn, you did Mayhem Fest. Now you're headlining. Do you guys get a break? Time to breathe and all of that?
We're gonna take a break as soon as we finish this headlining run up. We did Family Values, and we went out with Korn. Then we went out on a headlining tour. Then we went out with Disturbed. Then we went out on Mayhem, and then we went out on this. So we're just trying to service the record as much as we can. We haven't had a second to get in the studio to record, so we're gonna take a break after this and actually get another record that we can get out for next summer.
Oh, okay. So your guys' first album, I mean, did so well, but you guys obviously were all kind of in previous projects before this band. So did that lend a lot to, like, things happening so quickly?
I think it did. You know, I mean, you kind of learn the do's and don'ts along the way. I mean, we were all in bands that we liked, but it wasn't the perfect situation. And this one was basically formed around a certain vision that everyone happened to agree with. So we're all happy with it, and we just kind of, you know, wrote the material that we wanted to listen to. And it pretty much, we achieved that goal, and luckily people are grasping onto it and digging it, so everything's going good, man. We can't complain. I mean, we're headlining House of Blues. Here we are, you know, it's cool.
So did those different influences from the different projects play into the sound of the band? Did you kind of bring something to the table?
I would say, yeah. I mean, I think that's inevitable. There's no way you can get away from that. Everybody plays, you know, when we're playing, so we all kind of, you know, work together to argue through the arrangements, as it were. But like he said, we did have a vision for this. Everybody wanted the same thing at the end of the day, and I think that's one of the reasons that the record is as strong as it is, because it wasn't one person's, you know, total take on how it had to go.
Hi. Popping it. Were you guys already signed before you recorded it, or was that after? I mean, you know what I mean? Like a mutual thing, and then you took it and got signed?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we made the record ourselves in its entirety. It was mixed, mastered, and everything before we even had any interest at all.
Artwork, everything. Everything was done by us.
So, I mean, that was kind of a good position going into it then, because then you didn't have to argue with them, and you were like, this is what you get, or you like it, or you don't.
Not necessarily an argument. We didn't have to get signed and go into debt and then not be a workable project for the next 6 to 8 months while we tried to get a record into the stores. I mean, we did it on our own so we could do it our own way, but we also did it on our own so we could get it done. You know, and then we had a product that was something that we could shop to people, not a demo. It was a finished, completed album, you know, ready to go to radio. And that's what happened. Sounds like a pretty good plan. You know.
Right, totally. And that leads to my next question, which is, how did your lives change a lot? I mean, I know you had the previous experience after, you know, your single blew up on the radio pretty much. Like, did it change a lot?
Well, I mean, obviously a lot of people start coming to the shows because they hear it on radio. And, you know, we started on Family Values before our record was out. So there were pretty thin crowds some days. Some days there were amazing crowds too. But on Mayhem this summer, we had 2 singles that had done well on radio, and there were tons of people there, and they're singing the lyrics back to us louder than we're playing sometimes. We're going, wow, man, this thing's really grown. It's awesome. So, yeah, it has kind of changed.
So have you had, since then, like, your first, like, rock star moment, quote unquote? I like to ask.
Well, I mean, yeah, you get recognized at Taco Bell in Kansas sometimes. You know, even here you get recognized. It's cool. I mean, people, you know, are being made aware of this band due to, like, MTV and radio, and we're on great tours. We're visible. We're in, you know, magazines. Fuse has been great.
Tattoo Revolver. Everyone's coming around now, and it was interesting because in the beginning, the general consensus was that we weren't going to last 5 minutes, so nobody would talk to us, and now the list of press goes on and on and on, which is just proves that, you know, I think that the record's good, the band's done their work.
I mean, we've made it 7 minutes, so we're doing pretty good, right?
Stretching it out.
Yeah.
So do we get a little bit of a tidbit on what's the new record going to be like, since that's kind of your next step, right?
No, I mean, we have ideas. There's stuff ready to go. There's a lot of stuff that's raw and that needs to be worked out. I mean, we've been touring basically since last summer, nonstop, you know, for about 1.5 years. So, you know, we'll get together and figure it out and make the record that we want to make, and once it feels right, then it'll come out.
Not much more you can say than that. Everyone wants to hear, oh, it's going to be bigger, it's going to be harder, it's going to be heavier. Who knows? By the time it's done, you know, we'll go into it with one vision, and collectively we'll come out with the product that we all want to support. So,
I mean, it's fairly hard to write on tour, right? Do you guys get a chance to do that at all?
You're busy, you're doing interviews.
I'm distracting them right now.
No, it's cool. I mean, we just don't want to cheat one or the other. When we're out on tour, we want to be the best we can touring. When we want to make a record, we want to be focused, you know, and go to work every day and get it done the way it needs to be done, rather than half-ass both of them.
Right. I agree.
So, is there a lot of partying on tour?
No.
Yeah, right.
We listen to Lawrence Welk records and read the Bible.
I mean, how do you guys survive? I think, I don't people who play music are like superhuman, because like you party every night and you tour, and it's just...
I don't feel so superhuman, although I seem to pull it off. I do feel I'm like the upper tier of upper 70s right now, age-wise. But, you know, we do party. We do like to have a good time, but we also want to throw down on stage, and we're here to do a job and a service to the people that bought the record and that like the band.
Kids paid a ticket, you know. If you bought a ticket, you're going to get a show. There's plenty of time afterwards for all the partying and stuff, you know. So it's pretty legendary. We do real well. It's not something to brag about, you know, but we're motherfuckers when it comes to that.
What about this tour? I mean, does the different bands make a different dynamic at the party? You know?
It's cool. Like in this moment, it's old friends of mine from a long time ago, so it's kind of like having family out on the road. Bury Your Dead crew is a blast to hang out with. You know, those guys are cool as hell. So it's fun. I mean, we tend to start partying pretty close to bus call, so it continues through the night on the bus for the most part. You know, and people fade as the hours go by, and eventually some guy goes to bed at 8 in the morning. He's the one who misses sound check or something the next day, but we'll get it done in the end. And you know, as long as you get up and do your job, well, you can do whatever you want. You know, it's fun.
Sweet. So, well, shit. Anything else you want to add to the internet universe out there? Say whatever you want. Swear.
Just thanks so much for buying the record and supporting us at radio. I mean, it's everything. It's obvious that it's working, and we really appreciate it. We're going to continue to do our best to release shit that we like and that hopefully everyone else likes as well. And we're going to be out on tour all next year after we make this record and do it all again. So thank you to everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Sweet. All right. Well, there you go. Fucking A. We're going to go rock out and fucking hang out and cool. Signing off.